Let's make sure, are we on the air?
Yes, sir, we are live.
Okay, thank you. Once again, good afternoon, welcome, and Happy New Year to everyone. We are going to start today's proceedings with the invocation and Pledge of Allegiance by Councilman John Carroll. Please rise.
Let us pray. Dear Lord, as we come before you today, we want to once again thank you for all your blessings. We thank you for all the blessings in the year 2025, and we ask that you continue to bless us in the year 2026. Now, Lord, guide us and direct us as we conduct the business of the city and the citizens of Jasper County. All these things we ask in your most precious name. Amen.
Amen.
I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for a moment of silence for our servicemen and women who have fought and died for our freedom, and for all those who continue to serve around the world, protecting our way of life. Thank you. I'll now call this meeting to order. This is a City of Hardeeville regular city council meeting and public hearing at 205 Main Street, Hardeeville, South Carolina, January 8, 2026 at 3:30 p.m. I would now like a motion to approve, disapprove, or change today's agenda.
Move to approve today's agenda.
We have a motion. We have a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Next, we have executive session, the receipt of legal advice where legal advice relates to a pending, threatened, or potential claim or other matters covered by the attorney-client privilege. Settlement of settlement of legal claims in accordance with South Carolina Code of Law 30-4-70A2. We will be discussing the proposal of a moratorium for John Smith area, and also B, discussions of proposed contractual arrangements and confidential proprietary information provided to a public body for economic development purposes or contract negotiations in accordance with South Carolina Code of Law 30-4-70A2. We will be discussing the Southern Carolina Alliance on Economic Development Incentives. May I have a motion to go into executive session?
Motion to enter executive session.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. We will be going into executive session. We will start the regular city council meeting promptly at 5 p.m. Thank you. Everyone, for those of you who weren't here earlier, thank you for joining us. We have already had the Pledge of Allegiance and the invocation and the approval of the agenda. We now need a motion to come out of executive session and return to regular session. May I have a motion, please?
Motion,
We have a motion. Do we have a second? We have a motion. We have a second. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We are now back in regular section. As per our rules, the next item is the selection of Mayor Pro Tem pursuant to Article 4, Section 2-96 of the Hardyville Code of Ordinances. Our Mayor Pro Tem is elected by the body up here and for a one-year term. Mrs. Guzman's term is up, so now we have to decide who will be our next Mayor Pro Tem. And since I think it's appropriate that I make the nomination, I would like to nominate Councilman Steve Mearsman to be our next Mayor Pro Tem. That's a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
We have a motion. We have a second. Now, are there any comments or questions or discussion of any council person would like to have at this time? Seeing none, I will call for a roll call vote. Madam Clerk, would you please take the roll?
Councilman Carroll?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Temp Guzman?
Yes.
Councilman Mearsman?
yes.
Councilman White?
Yes.
Mayor Williams?
Yes. Congratulations, Councilman Mearsman.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Don't hit me with that now.
And I would like also at this time to thank our former Mayor Pro Tem, Ms. Councilwoman Valerie Guzman, who has brought great honor to the title. You did a wonderful job, and I thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
And to our new Pro Tem, I know you will not be here at the next meeting, but I will be passing this to you and your first meeting back. So it gives you some time to prepare, and
Thank
you will get your baptism by fire at the next council meeting.
22nd.
First one in February. We,
He'll be doing it.
I'll be here, but
Let him do it.
I'm gonna let him
Right.
let him get practice.
Be right under fire, okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
He did it to me.
you picked the most complicated one. That's part of the thing.
Yeah.
Thank you for the confidence, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much.
You have the floor, Mayor Pro Tem, and so take as much time if you'd like to address the public or the council.
Thank you for this position. I will do my best and to represent the city of Hardyville and all of its residents and the council and all the employees of Hardyville. Thank you.
Okay. Next, we have public comments. Madam Clerk, do we have anyone signed up?
No, sir.
Okay, then we'll go right into public presentations. And the first item on the agenda is the holiday traffic summary presentation.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, and staff. We'll get this presentation pulled up here.
Gentlemen, although you need no introduction, but we do need you on the public record, on video. Please state your name and your rank for the public record.
Lieutenant Dustin Creel.
Corporal Trotto.
All right. Today we're going to be talking about the holiday traffic in or around the city of Hardyville. First thing we have up on the screen is a map of the major roadways that run through the city. You have US 17, US 321, SC 46, and US 278. And then also 95. I-95 is highlighted in blue. Holiday traffic in Hardyville is significantly heavier than normal due to the major roadways all coming together. The city limits almost acts like a huge funnel, especially when you're going south. This is I-95 that's highlighted here. The stars represent our exits, our access points for the officers. Exit 8 is the one to the north, and exit 5 is the one to the south. Our coverage for I-95 is from the 2.5 mile marker all the way up to the 13 mile marker, and that is north and southbound traffic. We respond to any crash, disabled vehicle, or road hazards within that stretch of I-95 that I just mentioned. And also, all of those incidents directly affects traffic flow. Slide 3 is stats gathered from traffic collisions that were reported and came in through the Jasper County Dispatch Center from December 22nd to the 28th. As you can see, we've plotted them as well. As you can see, the city of Hardyville gets the blunt of everything. One thing I want to add is this does not include anything that has come from or through South Carolina Highway Patrol's dispatch center. So this is strictly just the county dispatch center. So these numbers are far greater regarding the collisions in our area.
Lieutenant Creel.
Yes, ma'am.
How many of these accidents in Hardyville were serious in nature? I mean, like serious injuries or having to go to the hospital kind of thing?
You happen to have that?
So I didn't pull the stats directly on the severity of the crash because more or less we were looking into just how this is affecting traffic patterns. Unfortunately, even minor fender benders or vehicles that become disabled, we end up shutting down a lane or two, which is going to back up traffic either way. I know of at least one I can say that we assisted and responded to, which is that red dot you see just north of 95, just north of exit 5. That shut down the area 321 for a significant amount of time. That was Highway Patrol, Hardyville PD, as well as Jasper County, and that was in reference to a motorcycle fatality. So that one alone backed up traffic for hours.
And I'll get that. I'll get those stats to you. That's no problem.
The time that these roads were closed would be very helpful for us in making some of these decisions as far as developments and other things come, as in the future too, because you shutting down 278 or anything like that, we saw yesterday how it affects everything. And
Yes, sir.
the length of time that they're closed would help us make informed decisions, I guess.
With collisions such as that, I do know our records have a 30 minutes response time. So that's a time that you can, and it between 20 and 30 minutes is about an average response time for a record just to get there. So you can kind of, add another 15 minutes, or so before you actually hooked up to the car, and so about an hour, depending on a typical one that's got the lane closed. I would say that would be a safe number, but I can get all that just from our specific stats.
Thank you. For the future use is what I'm thinking.
Yes, sir.
Really about the time though, Mayor, it doesn't matter because you can't control when they come and go. and-
No, but it's for decisions that, for future use, that's when we could actually look at those.
Well, and we'd also, Josh had also mentioned about contacting the Google and what other people, 'cause it makes no sense. You'll see Google or whatever.
Waze or
Waze
whatever, yeah.
tell you to get off of Interstate
Yeah, we'll touch
in
on that.
Ridgeland because it's backed up to come to Hardyville to get back on Interstate. If it's backed up in Ridgeland, guess what? When you get to Hardyville, it's still backed up. And all that traffic is on 17.
Yep.
It's wrong 17. I saw it myself. I
Yeah.
got
Or
stuck in that.
321.
Yeah.
And we'll briefly touch on that in one of the slides going forward. We did recently start working with Waze and Google, which again, Google purchased Waze back in 2011, so now they're one and the same. And we do have an account with Waze being a municipality now that we can directly report these accidents. We're not at the point yet where we can say, hey, stop diverting traffic off of 95 onto 17, but we're at the beginning stages of working with Waze.
And while we're talking about 95 and lane closures, there, I just want to make a note that there is no egress route. You know, from exit 8 to exit 18, there's no egress route off of 95. Same thing from the state line to exit 5 or exit 5 to exit 8. There's just no egress route you know, should we have incidents in those areas to egress traffic, that's just not an option. So that's another issue that we try to do. You know, we use to obviously open up the shoulder, stuff like that. We try to do whatever we can to keep traffic flowing.
Question, please.
Yes, sir.
On the 32 accidents, were there a common denominator with those 32 accidents, or were there some of this, some of that, some of this? What's your,
So there is.
does your-
So there is a scattered combination. Some of it is from texting and driving. The majority of it that we see is from the congestion, the stop and go traffic, is what we see. A lot of rear end collisions, a lot of people
Go and you get distracted and all of a sudden bang.
stop and go. A lot of the collisions around the exits are, you know, exit 8, it happens quite a bit. Exit 8, you'll get traffic coming from 278 from Hilton Head Lakes area. Well, the left lane will back up, turning left onto 95 South. So that lane will back up. Well, when people go to get on 95 North, the people in the left lane that are stopped will wave them, and they'll, you know, go ahead and pull out without right lane is still flowing, and another motorist can't give you the right of way, and so we see that a lot of times. So it's really just due to the amount of people that are in the area and the congestion that everybody's in.
Too much southern hospitality.
The longer you sit, the braver you get? Is that what, is that how that goes?
That's true too.
Yeah, and we try to get that out there. You've got to. There's 2 lanes. The one lane just can't give you the right of way. So, but it's all relating to the congestion. But a lot of stop and goes, a lot of rear ends on 95, especially. You'll be traveling 30, 40 miles an hour, and all of a sudden, you're doing 5, and it's a split second. People aren't paying attention. People are following too close, not giving enough reaction time. So that's really what we see with those 32. That's the most common. Go to the next slide here. All right, we already talked about the working with Waze and Google. These are some other initiatives that we're working with. Some we do, some we're getting more involved with. Increase community communication, increase social media notifications. We use the Nixle. We've been pretty good about using Nixle this year. I know we've used it a lot more than years past. We've had a lot more people subscribe to it. We tell people all the time to subscribe to it, so they can plan accordingly. But we try to get those out as soon as we can. The DOT signage, we do have DOT signs. One is sitting at the 9 mile marker southbound. The other one's at the 3 mile marker northbound. We do, anytime we have a lane closure of any kind, a major delay in traffic, we always let Highway Patrol know through our dispatch center. That way they can get on those signs and update those signs through their sources. And also the increased personnel. Chief Wilbur established a traffic team. We have the traffic team work high traffic holidays and times to supplement the patrol officers. So we do increase the personnel to get out there and clear the roadways as fast as possible, to patrol the major checkpoints that we see, and also to enforce the laws in those specific areas that we're having troubles with.
Lieutenant, I want to pull just a little bit more information out from you about that. Under most normal circumstances, how many patrol officers do we have out at any given time, generally speaking?
5.
Okay. And then what do we do when we prepare for the holidays?
So we have officers such as the traffic team. We work their schedule around them.
Yep.
So we'll change their days off. We'll change their days worked. We'll change their times worked to the high traffic areas, to the high traffic times, and go from there. And we try to specifically target what our issues are.
And then in terms of, responding to a situation, so if there's an accident on 995, how much personnel resources does it take in order to effectively handle and manage that scene?
It all depends on the scale of the event. A typical traffic collision, a minor fender bender, could be handled by one officer safely off to the shoulder of the road.
But let's say, I-95, during that holiday traffic, you need one for traffic management, one to do the accident.
Preferably, yes, sir.
That's where I was going. So
Preferably.
to say, even though we upstaff, whenever there is an accident, we have to pull people off of the road to work that accident. And so it leaves fewer people available to do then intersection monitoring and other traffic management
Yes,
because you're responding to the accident,
Yes,
was
sir.
where I was trying to go.
Yeah.
Lieutenant Colonel, I know, is there like an interface where you've worked with fire on the number of the 32 that we had required a response from other emergency services? The reason I ask that is just, that adds to the total amount of personnel that we are putting in it. I know the Sunday between Christmas and New Year's, coming back at 2 o'clock on that Sunday afternoon, I witnessed 2 accidents between the river and the Welcome Center. And I mean, both of them, the way as hard as they hit, because we saw 2 ambulances and 2 fire trucks returning back to that place. I mean, that's a lot of personnel that we
It is.
signed up for.
It-
But I mean, would fire have the number of, at those same responses?
Yes.
Okay.
They would, and we utilize them too as well. They're trained and qualified to direct traffic.
Okay.
So anytime we respond to a scene and they can help us out, they're always willing to help us out with traffic. So we can maybe keep an officer free or available for another call or some other kind of service. So they do help us out quite a bit.
Before you move on, 2 points. Number one, it's very noticeable, the increased communication via Nixle and Facebook postings, and I want to thank you for that. I think that we've done a much better job than even a year ago, so my compliments on that. And number two, in terms of communication, I know I had a email that I think I forwarded to the chief and Josh, and somebody suggested increasing personnel. So we have, they don't know it. So perhaps, and this is to keep in mind for next year, as we enter into some of these, the Thanksgiving, the Christmas, the holiday events, perhaps put out there some, hey, we have a traffic team that's going to be out there. Let the people know what we're doing is what I'm saying. Because you're doing a good job, but obviously this person who sent the email didn't know that.
Yes, sir.
So, and I didn't answer because I didn't know it. You're doing a great job. Let people know about it. Blow your own horn, as they used to say.
Better
Toot
story
your
than
own
we're
horn.
telling.
Toot your own horn.
And that is it. You'll kind of hit us with questions during the presentation, which is totally fine. But if y'all have any more questions, we're totally open to questions of any kind. If not,
Great report. This is
No, we thank you
terrific,
for
and
your
I hope
time.
everybody in the community heard what you're going through, because it is a tough time for everybody with 32 accidents in 6 days. That's incredible.
well, thank you all
So
very much.
good job. Thank you very much for the
Yeah,
report.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have a Community Transformation Foundation update by Mr. Assistant City Manager Neil Parsons.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. I'll
Good
get
evening.
This presentation fired up. Come on. It's supposed to be plug and play, but it's not plugging and playing. Listen, I'm the one that usually does all these things, so for me to have the problems with it, it's not good. So
12-year-old.
I can hear a click, but it's not prompting. Hold on 1 second.
You know, nobody up here. Josh is the only one that could help him.
Sabrina could help.
Like I indicated, I mean, I'm usually the one that prepares for everybody else, so we apologize for that. So, well, I think it's where we just had one plug and play clicked in. We plugged in and played, but it normally should just pop up. So, let's see if we can bring it up the other way. It's not even registering it. All right. No, it didn't. Oh, there it is.
There we go.
Finally.
Show him, Jesse, how to do that.
I know, I'm going to lose all credibility. All right. Again, hello, Mayor, Council. Thank you all for the short delay we had. So I'm here to talk about the Hardyville Community Transformation Foundation. First of all, that's a mouthful. We all know that. But, you know, those big words have also brought a lot of big things to our area. So first of all, I mean, other than our workforce training program, which you all enacted back in 2019, I mean, this is a simple, great measure that you all take in that most cities and stuff don't put forth a nonprofit underneath their umbrella, nor do we have the expertise, whatever, to make that work and establish it, whatever. And we've done a good job with that. And you'll see some of the updates and stuff that we talk about here that you all will be proud of and stuff as we discuss it. So basically the overview, why did we create it? So basically it was back 2019, 20, we got a timeline in there when it was first talked about that the nonprofit would be established. We did it, we knew as a growing city, we have lots of opportunities to get various funding, grants, different things of that sort. But also as a nonprofit, it allows us to fill the gaps in the areas that we were not able to get the funding and stuff through before just being a city. It allowed us to go after different things. It allowed us to help provide financial resources to various nonprofits, education services, community partners, businesses. It's helped promote collaboration and stuff between the city and all of our partners and stuff that help work and fill the gaps and stuff, the services provided for the city. And it supports specific city projects like the workforce training. So all which is all good things. So here's the timeline of noteworthy events and stuff. So you all approved us moving forward with in 2020. So it's been, 5 years since you all at least made the first initial saying that, hey, the nonprofit is needed here and let's move forward with it. From that point forward, you can see it took us kind of, through the timeline, 2020 first meeting, 2021, we received our IRS notification that allowed us to say that we are a 501c3, kind of move forward and stuff with that process. From that point on, you had ARPA grant funding that kicked in at that point. We opened up our first grants that went out to the nonprofits and businesses for recovery. FY23, we started the sponsorships and discretionary grant funding administered by the foundation. Then you currently get where we're at now. So a lot of things has happened since we first started it up till now. So what's happening now? I mean, you have the expansion of the board of directors. You have a new logo. You have a new website. We got expansion of programs and services. We've taken from a small nonprofit operating underneath the city, and we're saying, hey, we are legit. We are ready and stuff for that. We can go after more monies and stuff as needed. But and when we show up to the table, people are like, yes, they are a legit organization that's bringing forth a lot of good things and stuff to the city. So the expansion of the board of directors, we are now up to 7 board of directors. Myself and Jeffrey Combs were part of the 2 original directors that helped us establish the nonprofit. And then at that point, we added on there and added the rest of them. As you can see, we have our city manager, Josh Gruber, Jeffrey Combs, City of Hardyville, myself, Adam Pagan from Novant Health, John Smith from Farino, Tracy Trimmer from Sparklight, and then Amy Chester from the City of Hardyville. So it's a good group of people that have come together that volunteer to make this nonprofit stuff be successful and continue fulfilling the mission stuff that we look to serve. So the logo, here's our new logo. We worked with a professional company and stuff, that graphics company out of Beaufort, to help put this together, back and forth with the input stuff from the board members. So this is it kind of represents the following of the logo, the tree and the symbolization and stuff for the city of Hardyville, kind of moving that forward, but also, it's about impacting the people. So we wanted to show the people and stuff impacted in that logo, something simple, something can be reproduced, but still tell the message and stuff of the nonprofit the best way we could. So we worked with the SIDS team to put together the new website, and our old employee Elizabeth Andridge, we helped contract with and helped establish this. So this is the new website, and we can make sure that you all have that in email, whatever, so y'all can check that out. Pretty nice website. Still simple. I mean, as you can see, this is the front page of the website here. You talk about contact, the programs, the news events. And you see the green button there, it's live, donate now. So, as a 501c3, we can ask for monies and stuff from anybody at any time. And this gives them a mechanism to go on there and donate that monies and stuff into any of the programs or services that we have available. So here's some of the funding types of stuff that we've been responsible for. That's from the direction and stuff of the council. As you look, you've got sponsorships, discretionary grant funding. You got the educational services and workforce training programs, and the ARPA grant funding. And it kind of just tells you the purpose and the focus and beneficiaries of those programs. Again, it's making a difference, and I'll show you shortly how much of a difference that's making since then. But the sponsorships and stuff, that's something that the council used to vote on in the council meetings. We kind of, we've taken the charge of that, saying under your all's direction, saying, hey, this is what we're covering, this is what we're doing, making sure the monies and stuff that we have is being spread out across the various nonprofit organizations and even community organizations that help benefit the city and help support the city causes and the region. So here's the graph, the takeaway that kind of shows what it's a little bit smaller on the screen, I know. So the first year, it basically shows the 3 different types of programs and stuff in 2022 that we administered. Followed by the first 3, you had the ARPA nonprofit, you had the ARPA business, and you also had the discretionary grant programs that happened in 2022. So you had the scale, the legend up top that kind of shows you which one of the awards, and then you have it stacked by each year by which program, maybe about how much money. So if you look at the key takeaways, so since 2022, through the various programs we operated, we've gave out $900,000 to various nonprofits, community organizations, educational institutions. And so you're making a tremendous difference and stuff. And a lot of these monies, we figured out ways to utilize these monies, which is not taken away from operational expenses and stuff that the city needs. This is, like I said, ARPA monies. Last year, you all put in place that we had a mechanism to utilize DA fees for education. So that, again, is going toward the education and workforce training grants that we submit. So as you can see, you have the different categories of stuff with the amount of monies and stuff that's been pushed out there. So, and then we continue to do the multiple annual sponsorships and stuff for the non-organizations and events. And we also ongoing tuition assistance for our workforce training program also runs through there. So we have, like I said, a board of 7. I pretty much handle the day-to-day operation of the nonprofit as being the secretary and stuff of the board. But that's really, then here is their last round of funding that we just completed. So this is the 2025 Education Workforce Training Grants. This money was awarded through, utilized from what the DA fees is from the education dollars that we have in place. As you can see, this, from last year to this year, we actually increased the number of people. I think we went from 7 to 11 that applied this year. We reached out to the nonprofits and all the education providers, public, private, and charter, and the colleges and universities, to say this opportunity stuff's available. So for the schools and stuff that actually tuck that under there, and we changed it up a little bit this year. We actually brought them in. So each applicant came in and did about a 3 to 5 minute presentation to the board saying this is what their project was. The board of directors actually scored those projects and made those awards and stuff based on the application they submitted and the presentation that they gave. Again, holding those organizations more accountable, but also building those relationships and collaboration between, as we spoke to them and as they showed us what they were doing and stuff for the area. So if you have any questions, so this was last year when we ran that Educational Workforce Training Grant Program. This is when we did TCL's $150,000 through that program. So it's making a big difference through a lot of different areas. So it's something that you guys should be really proud of. And I can answer any questions that you all may have. So.
Thank you, Neil. Any questions for Neil?
No, I just think it's a great program, and the committee has done a fantastic job.
Thank you.
Couldn't agree more. We've helped a lot of organizations, a lot of schools. I love seeing all those schools on there. I think this was one of our most proud initiatives that the
You all done a
city
great job,
undertook.
so, yes, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Do you know how to turn it off, or do you need help?
I request that USB I got back, I gave you a while ago. I may need to update it some, so.
It was so bad today.
I know. Next, we have the presentation approval of minutes. We have 2 meetings that we have to approve, the November 20th regular city council meeting and the December 11th regular city council meeting. And based on the motion, you could take these individually or collectively. So your motion will decide that. So do I have a motion to approve, disapprove, or make any changes to the minutes for November 20th and December 11th?
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion that we approve the minutes of November 20th and December 11th, 2025.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion. We have a second. Any conversation? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Okay, the minutes are approved for both of those meetings. We have no old business this evening. We have new business. An ordinance to amend and restate ordinance number 2025-10-02C, authorizing the establishment of the Hilton Head Lakes West Track Improvement District, providing for the financing of improvements within the improvement district by assessments, the issuance of bonds, or other revenues as herein described, and other matters relating thereto. This is ordinance 2026-01-08A. Mr. Gruber, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Both items A and B on the new business of tonight's agenda are related to one another. And what it goes back to is several months ago, the council approved a municipal improvement district for Hilton Head Lakes West Tract Development. And so at that time, it was contemplated that there would be 2 separate borrowings. And so there was an assessment A that was referenced, and there was an assessment B. The best way to think about it is assessment A was going to put in all of the roadway infrastructure on the southern portion of the development, and the assessment B was going to put in the roadway infrastructure for the northern portion of the development. What they are proposing to do now is to eliminate assessment B. Not that that changes their development, it just means that that infrastructure is not going to be public. It's not going to be turned over to the city for future maintenance. And so because that's going to remain a private roadway, they want to eliminate the assessment B. But everything else that you approved, the notice requirements, the filing in the Register of Deeds, the website, all of the stuff that we talked about making the residents aware, none of that is changing. So really all we're doing is saying, instead of doing 2 borrowings, we're just going to do the one and we're going to remove the other. And I'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have about that.
Okay, let's start from my left. And Mr. Carroll, do you have any comments or questions?
No, sir, I mean, I think Josh pretty well summarized it, so I don't have anything.
None for me.
Mr. White, Mrs. Guzman?
So basically, Road A is going to remain a private road.
So Road A is the southern
Southern part,
portion.
okay.
The northern portion, which goes much farther into that tract, they're contemplating possibly doing a gated community for that northern portion. And if it's behind a gate, it can't be
Can't.
public infrastructure.
Okay.
So that's why we can't pay to build it either.
And Road A is not part of this financing
Okay.
package. They're paying for that separately.
Okay. All right, thanks. I needed to get that cleared. Thanks.
Mr. Mearsman?
No questions.
I have no questions either. This is pretty straightforward. So I will now ask the public. Does the public have any comments or questions? Seeing none, I'd like a motion to approve, disapprove, or make any changes to ordinance 2026-01-08A.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion that we approve ordinance 2026-01-088.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion. We have a second. Any further comments or questions by council or the public? Seeing none, I'll call for a voice vote on this. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Okay, next, as Mr. Gruber said, is associated with that, an ordinance to amend and restate ordinance 2025-10-02D, approving the assessment roll and master assessment methodology for the Hilton Head Lakes West Tract Improvement District and other matters relating thereto. This is ordinance 2026-01-08B. Mr. Gruber, any further comments on this?
No, sir, this is directly related to the last matter you just voted on.
Okay. Then I'll start the questioning with Mr. Mearsman this time.
No questions.
Mrs. Guzman,
No questions, sir.
Mr. White,
No questions.
Mr. Carroll,
No questions.
and I have no further questions either. So having said that, does the public have any comments or questions? Seeing none, I'd like a motion to approve, disapprove, or make any changes to ordinance 2026-01-08B.
I'd like to make a motion for approval of 2026-01-08B.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion. We have a second. Any comments or questions by council or the public? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Okay, both of those will have second reading in 2 weeks. Next, we have a resolution of the City of Hardeeville, South Carolina City Council authorizing the city manager to amend resolution number 2025-11-20A regarding utility relocations at the Argent Shortcut Jasper Station intersection. Mr. Gruber, please.
Thank you, Mayor. If you'll recall, several months ago, we undertook to make improvements at the intersection of Argent and Shortcut Road, basically realigning the roadway so that the DOT can come in behind us and install a fully signalized intersection at that location. And then if you'll recall that after we began that project, it arose that there was utility conflicts with the power lines that were in that location. And so we requested an amendment to the contract to increase that contract by $750,000, roughly, to account for having to relocate those power lines. And if you'll recall, at the time, we indicated that what we were going to do was we were going to ask Jasper County to reimburse us for those additional expenses out of the transportation sales tax pot of money, with the understanding that we were essentially doing something that the county was going to have to do themselves when they come forward with the Argent Boulevard corridor project. And so the rationalization was, well, we are paying for something now that you were going to have to pay for in the future, so why don't you agree to reimburse us for these costs now? And the county has said they are willing to do that. So they are going to give us the $750,000 to pay for that utility relocation. However, they did say while they're willing to do that, they're not willing to pay for it twice. And what they mean by that is, as you know, the corridor for Argent Boulevard hasn't been designed yet in terms of what improvements can go in there. And so, if you'll recall, a portion of the project was going to take the power lines back behind the Farino building, and then it would come back out to Argent, and then for a portion would be underground along Argent, and then would come back up above ground. The portion that remains along Argent, if that has to be relocated again, the county said, well, we're not going to pay for it twice. We'll pay for it once, but if it has to be done again, city, you're going to be responsible for paying that relocation cost. So it's not guaranteed that it would be necessary, but it's something we need to be aware of. We've estimated that that portion of it, if we had to pay to relocate the lines again, would be about $200,000. And so I wanted to bring this before you now so that you understood what the condition is that they're putting on that reimbursement to make sure you feel comfortable with it. Not that we're going to have to spend that money in the future, but I don't want you to be surprised if for some reason it were to come up. This is then going to then come back and we'd have to figure out how to pay for that. So we're getting $750,000 to put towards that project, but we are at risk for potentially having to pay back $200,000 of that.
Yeah.
But because of the dollar values involved, I wanted you all to be aware of that and make sure you felt comfortable with it.
Just to clarify, the 750 puts the lines behind Farino.
Yes, sir.
But in the future, the lines that remain on Argent, they're different lines. So why would we be accountable for that?
So right now, the power lines run down the entire length. They're on the
Right.
northern side of Argent.
Right.
And so it's the same line. It's just at the intersection of Shortcut Road, because of where the traffic signals are going to go, we have to move the power lines away from that area. And
Understood.
And the only way that we can do that is by undergrounding them. And so it's still the same line, but when the line comes back out to Argent Boulevard past Shortcut Road, what we don't know is whether Argent's going to be widened in that area, and the lines that we're putting underground may have to be moved further. Now, I would tell you, I think the risk of that is fairly low, primarily because on the south side of Argent, you have a lot of wetlands. I mean, we've seen the lake that's been sitting there ever since we started that intersection project. So a lot of wetlands that are there. And then on the northern side of Argent, you have those businesses that parking lots are right up against the roadway. And so realistically, I'm not sure what they're going to be able to design through there if we can anticipate a widened roadway. And if they can't, then this is not an issue. The lines will go underground. We don't have to worry about it. It's only if they propose widening of Argent Boulevard, and therefore those lines would have to be relocated again.
And that's $200,000.
Yes, sir. And Prina was telling me it's a not to exceed amount. So the dollar value is being incorporated in this agreement. So it's known, it's fixed, we know what our risk is. It's just a question of whether or not we would have to pay that at some point in time in the future.
That was my question, whether if 5 years from now, that
Whether it'll
200,000 might
be-
be $750,000.
Yep.
Okay. And there is nothing really on the planning board for the widening of Argent Boulevard at this time.
Not, it has to, as Josh said, it has to be designed first. It may, when the engineers get done with it, they may say, okay, we can't widen in section A, B, C, but we can do something in DEF. We don't know until the engineers get in there, because as Josh said, it's wetlands. There's also easements that have to be acquired. So until they come back with, here's what you can do, we don't know.
Not in my lifetime.
But it's still
That's
going
all.
to be, even if it came up, it's still going to be $200,000. I mean, it's
Right.
not going to go up.
It's not. It's a fixed amount in our agreement with the county.
So we still come out ahead, really.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, since, Mr. Mearsman, you started the questioning, any further questions? Mrs. Guzman?
no questions.
Mr. White?
No questions.
Okay, I think we have exhausted the questions. Now, I'd like the public to weigh in. Does the public have any comments or questions regarding this relocation? Okay, seeing none, I'd like a motion to approve, disapprove, or make any changes to Resolution 2026-01-08C.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion that we approve resolution 2026-01-08C.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further comments or questions by council or the public? Seeing none, I'll call for a voice vote on this. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Okay, we're going to now go to the manager's report. Mr. Gruber, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a real quick update for the public. We started our comprehensive plan process earlier this week. I know most of council was able to attend, but I want to take this opportunity to continue to put the call out to the public. We want to hear your feedback. We want to hear your comments. If you weren't able to attend one of the meetings that we've already had, I know we had a couple traffic accidents which made travel difficult for some folks. Please reach out to us. We will get you information. We'll get you surveys. We'll be able to kind of gather your thoughts and comments to make sure that those get incorporated as well. And so just wanted to make that plea again to the public of this is the time to help us participate by providing your comments and feedback. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Okay, so this is the start of the year, so we'll start alphabetically and go to Mr. Carroll.
Don't have a whole lot, Mr. Mayor, since we were out for holidays, since the last meeting. Had a lot of different events to go to, but for the most part, it was a quiet holiday. I do want to say thank to Josh and Public Works, whatever, for the Christmas decorations. I think, Mayor, you and I talked about that too, but I've had so many comments about not only the decorations, but the increased amount of the decorations, and that takes a lot, and I do want to say thank you for that. And other than that, that's it.
Thank you. Mrs. Guzman?
Okay. I'm going to make it brief, John, I promise. First and foremost, I just want to thank everybody for all your help and understanding during my tenure as Mayor Pro Tem. I couldn't have done it without, I'll start with Miss Cindy, making sure that the agenda was user-friendly as far as I was concerned. To Mrs. Maines and Mr. Gruber for your support whenever I was on deck. And then also to the mayor for your faith that I could pull it off. And then my fellow councilmen for your support and understanding as well. So thank you very much. Like I said before, I couldn't have done it without y'all. So other than that, I just want to wish everybody a happy new year and, onwards and upwards. We keep moving forward. That's about it.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Mearsman,
Yes, that has a good ring to it.
or shall I say, Your Honor? That's why I voted for you. I wanted to get you back. Your Excellency. Okay.
Thank you. First off, I'd like to thank the council for your confidence in me to perform as Mayor Pro Tem. Also, I hope everybody had a nice and peaceful Christmas and New Year's. I know I did. It's been almost a month since we were all together here, so I just hope everything went well with all of you all and staff. It's been a busy time. We heard from our police tonight. We have to really step back and take a look at the growth of Hardeeville and the impact of so many of these things that we don't have the control of, such as the traffic on 95, but how that also affects the operations of the city and everybody who either lives here or must transport through the city. We have a lot on our table, and I think I couldn't be sitting up here with anybody else better than what I already have up here. And that includes council and staff. So I'm looking forward to 2026, and that's it.
Awesome,
Thank you.
thank you.
Mr. White?
I reflect what John said, just a nice break, kind of kicking back. Cindy, I wanted to thank you. I have the fortune and misfortune of having a birthday on December 24th, and I appreciated the cupcakes. Your birthday gets lost in the shuffle of everything happening. And so that was very nice. I just wanted to acknowledge you and say thank you again. And I think we've got some exciting things ahead for the next year, and we appreciate your leadership. And Steve and Val, thanks for the excellent job you did. And it's a lot of fun things ahead.
I'll try to go through these very quickly, but first of all, Happy New Year, everybody, and I hope everybody had a wonderful holiday season. Couple of thanks and congratulations. First of all, our Parks, Recreation, and Tourism Department for all the things that they did in the month of December, basically since Thanksgiving. The parade, the Murray on Main, the Santa's Toy Box, and all the distribution of that. They just did a tremendous job. Reefs Across America. There was so many things, and so my congratulations and thanks to everybody in the Parks and Rec team. I want to also thank our police department for a really informative pastor's breakfast that we had, inviting them in and letting the pastors of our community know the services that they can call on our police department, such as training for active shooters, et cetera. So thank you very much for that. Congratulations to the building department. They have really nice new gig over there on Argent Boulevard, beautiful new offices. And they are the subject of my mayor's memo for the month of January that I sent to everybody in the council. We should be very proud of them. I want to thank the Low Country Food Pantry for once again supplying I think close to 250 boxes of food and vouchers just the week before Christmas. And they've been a wonderful resource for our citizens because I don't know how many times a year they come, but I want to thank them. I want to thank the staff for what they put together, not only a great employee lunch, but including items for Rascals Rescue, which is, I think we all should be very proud. Kristen tells me over there that in the 2 years they've been open, they've placed over 1,000 animals. So that's really an incredible job. And now they're trying to there's a capital campaign trying to get out there. What they want to do is add a clinic for spaying animals rather than send them out. So if you see any any solicitations for rascals. That's really what it's all about. I went right before Christmas. I was invited to the Christmas party. I don't know. I thought everybody was, but anyway, at Unified Resources, considering they just started operations, they put together a really nice Christmas party for their 30 employees, and that 30 is supposed to go to 100. But the thing I wanted to report to the public, and it really impressed me, was the fact that out of the 30 initial employees, 28 of them were local. Only 2 came from Savannah. So, and that's one of the purposes of developing industrial enterprises in the city of Hardeeville is to give our local residents job opportunities that are better paying and not have to travel an hour and a half to Hilton Head for minimum wage jobs. So it was nice to see that our master plan really started coming together in that enterprise. Once again, I want to congratulate Mayor Pro Tem Mearsman for your election this evening. Also, I think our MASC awards are up. Did you get that notice? Okay, so we should always be nominated for something. Because we deserve it. I would also recognize our past Mayor Pro Tem because I understand that she is graduating, not from high school, but from the
Middle school. Thank you,
Come on.
she is graduated from the Municipal Association's MEO Institute of Education for elected officials. So congratulations. You can turn your tassel to the other side, okay? That's a great achievement, thank you. I sent to everyone a list of goals that I've been accumulating for our discussion at our retreat, because as you recall, when we reviewed this, Mr. Gruber, that we would give him a set of goals that we want him to work on. So those are just my list. Prior to the retreat, anyone who wants to take one off, add one, modify, please prepare that prior to the retreat. There's one last thing that came up Monday as I was at the Jasper County Council meeting, and I spoke to Brianna about this afterwards. There is a warehouse proposal at Jasper County that's right at the intersection of Highway 17 and 315. I looked at the ingress and egress plan, and I shuddered. And I particularly shuddered when I came in and asked Brianna to refresh my memory, because we approved the warehouse right across the street. I would like staff, I'd like a city manager, we should take the initiative to get together with Jasper County and take another look at whatever we approved. Had to be 3-4 years ago we approved that project. They haven't come forward with any plans yet, but we really have to, and Jasper County tabled that. I don't think they passed that. We really need to look at that intersection as a county city entity, so we do not create a traffic and safety nightmare there. I cringed, and I even said to Brianna, how could I be so stupid? I mean, that just goes to show when we don't work together and these things come in piecemeal, they may seem okay by themselves, but when put together with other things, it was frightening when I looked at that thing. So anyway, Josh, I think we need to get together with the county and look at that whole intersection and what we're about to do to it. And that's all I have. So if anyone, unless anyone has another comment?
One quick one, Mayor.
Yes.
Just for scheduling purposes, 2 items. First, the Planning Commission meeting that's set for January 14th has been canceled. And so it does not appear that we will need to have the City Council workshop on January 26th. So again, for scheduling purposes, you can go ahead and pull that one off your calendar.
Okay, okay. All right. I still haven't beaten John's record, but this was pretty quick tonight. So we have one more piece of business to attend to. Do we have any further motions for the evening?
We adjourn.
That's the one I was looking for. We have a motion. Do we have a second? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. All right, thank you.
Aye, aye.